Welcome back. What we are watching, episode 46. I'm Joey, alongside my co-hosts for this adventure that we call the YouTube channel. TJ, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. It's the 46th episode, and I'm enjoying a fruit adventure. It's a great place to be.
There's nothing wrong with it. I love a good fruit adventure. That is what they wrote in my senior yearbook, and I didn't understand it until this moment. But 25 years later, I'm 25, 29 years later, next year will be my 30th. I was thinking college.
Hey.
29 years later, I finally get it. Yeah. Because real time talk here, TJ. You know
Right.
that people were not always as sensitive as they are now, and not as aware that hurtful words can hurt people, and
Right.
And so I inquired at the time. I'm like, "Are you trying to say something by saying fruit adventure?" They're like, "No, you look like that you would enjoy going on an adventure with a cherry or a good orange or a banana." So,
I mean, for the record, if this is some anime type situation and I can go on some excursion, with a piece of fruit, cool. Just don't be watermelon. I don't care for watermelon, so I don't think that I would enjoy going on an excursion with watermelon.
okay. I will write that down. So if they say, "Listen, we're going on an anime adventure, we need to pick up TJ," I'm like, "Is watermelon coming? Because if watermelon's coming, TJ is out." But I'll be honest with you. I feel like at that point they say, "Hey man, we're animated fruit trying to take you on an adventure. Is he in any position to say no?" And I'm like, "You've got a point. Let's go and find out." Now he may still not come, and they say, "Granted," but give him the opportunity to know the watermelon. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that Family Guy Star Wars parody, right? From the bar scene, he goes, "I don't like you. He doesn't like you either. You don't even know me."
But Joey, real stuff. Whenever they show the scene of you walking up to my porch, knocking on the door and say, "Hey TJ, we got an animated adventure. Let's go on an excursion. You're going to see me." Now, mind you, the way they would film it, you would just see the dialogue going back between. You wouldn't hear what we were saying. But between us, you'd be like, "Hey, Joe, is watermelon there?" Joe, "Yeah, TJ. Nah, man." And then I shut the door. Joey, you walk back. "I told y'all he wasn't coming."
There's
watermelon sitting over there crying.
There's an episode of Cheers where they're going to play Gary's Old Town Tavern in a basketball game.
Okay.
And Gary has gotten these bunch of tall guys to become bartenders. So Sam goes out and gets Kevin McHale from the Boston Celtics to become a temporary bartender so he can be on there.
Man.
And he's like, "Kevin, can you get some of your other Celtics teammates to come?" Like, and he's named him. He's like Larry Bird, and Woody goes, "Nope, if Bird's in, I'm out." They're like, "What about you?" "He's from Indiana. You're from Indiana." He goes, "I'm from Hanover. He's from wherever, West Bend or wherever it is."
French
and all
Lick.
that. French Lick. He's from French Lick, and we don't get along. And then Kevin McHale comes in later and says, "Yeah, I heard this funniest story about people from Hanover." And Woody goes, I heard it another way." But I was just thinking of that when he's like, "Nope, if Bird's in, I'm out."
I'm out.
TJ and watermelon. If watermelon's in, TJ's out.
TJ is out. I don't even like watermelon print on my drawers.
Welcome back to things we didn't know before now we know. So, but we're here today on episode 46 to talk about item 47. Now, I should have done this when we did episode 47 with item 47, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But that's all right. And Thor, The Dark World. So, first of all, Item 47 is a 2012 American direct-to-video short film featuring Marvel's comics organization S.H.I.E.L.D., produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment on the home media release of Marvel's The Avengers. It is a follow-up and spin-off of The Avengers and the third Marvel one-shot short film set in the MCU, sharing continuity with the films of the franchise. It was directed by Louis D'Esposito with a screenplay by Eric Pearson and stars Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse Bradford, Maximiliano Hernandez, and Titus Welliver, with Hernandez reprising his role from the film series. Benny and Claire, a down on their luck couple, find a discarded Chitauri gun, Item 47, left over from the attack on New York City in the Avengers. The couple use it to rob a few banks, drawing the attention of S.H.I.E.L.D., which assigns agents Jasper Sitwell and Felix Blake to retrieve the weapon and neutralize the couple. Agent Sitwell tracks the couple down to a motel room that gets wrecked in the subsequent confrontation, and the stolen money gets destroyed. Instead of killing the couple, Sitwell invites them to join S.H.I.E.L.D. with Benny assigned to the R&D think tank to reverse engineer the Chitauri technology, and Claire becoming Blake's assistant.
So, first off, let me say, with all these one-shots that are clearly canon, we need to be working more diligently to get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be canon officially.
Okay.
That's just my opinion on it, man. It's just let's bring them in. But with regards to the show, what would you do, Joey, if you stumble upon some alien tech?
Probably get myself killed. I'm like, what does this button do?
You messing around and blowing it up.
Right. Now, this is the problem. In all honesty, you know, if I come across something like that and I don't blow myself up, I'm like, that's fine. But I can't just leave this here. I got to tell somebody. Like, I don't want kids to find it and blow something up. Right. But this is the problem. You call 911. You got people showing up at your door. They're like, we didn't want anybody to know about this. So either way, I'm getting blown up.
That is the downside to it, right? So what do you just keep it?
I would probably just keep it, put it in a box somewhere, and not tell anybody about that. Now, I'm good at this. My wife has found that out. She's like, did you know about blank? I said, yeah, I've been knowing that for almost 2 years now. Why didn't you tell me? It wasn't my story to tell. So that loose lips sink ships. That's all
I've heard. Go down the street with me real quick for 1 second. So now, movie plot, guy finds this object, doesn't know what to do with, essentially what you just described. He knows if he tells anybody, they're going to kill him. He's afraid to use it, so he puts it in a cooler, an igloo cooler.
Right.
Keeps it his entire life. He's now on his deathbed. He has it in his will. Leave this to my nephew. And he explains to his nephew why he never told anybody about it. It turns out to be very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe nephew goes on a killing spree. Would you watch that film?
Oh, goodness. Probably. But only the one time. But that's why I have not watched. I'll be honest. I've told you this before. That's why I have not watched any of Dexter. I'm not necessarily opposed to I know the idea behind Dexter.
Right.
My problem is that nobody asked this man to become judge, jury, and executioner. No, that is not his job. And I said, in the confines of his job and doing all that, does he ever execute someone who is innocent? And I'm sure the answer is yes. And at this point, like, I would say I wouldn't put the blame all on him. Like I said, I'm aware of the plot and all that. His stepfather or whatever, adopted father, whatever it is, also takes some of the blame. You know, you could go give that little boy some help. Oh no, he's just going to kill bad people. Well, You
That was
know,
the most matter-of-fact statement ever. You could go get that boy some help.
right.
Nathan.
I told you this before. That's my favorite thing about you, TJ. I was cutting up the 200th episode of the Joey Harris show that we did, so I cut out the green room and stuff like that. And you're good about that. You just pull it out like it's Sebastian, Mark, Leroy. It's just a matter of fact.
Matter of fact, man. Matter of fact,
That's the way. That's the way you got to be, though. You really do have to be that way.
But if I can say this as a PSA to anyone watching, don't watch item 47 and think that you can just find alien tech, commit some crimes, and then get the opportunity to work for a government agency. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you end up dead.
Right. But on the other hand, if you do find some and you end up working for some top secret government agency, all right, Joey and TJ are friendly. We don't want that smoke, okay? In fact, if you could take us off the IRS rolls forever, we'd be appreciative of that too.
Sometimes when you're watching something, they evaluate your threat level, like on a computer screen. I don't care if it says no threat. I don't mind because honestly, in my normal status, I'm not a threat.
Right.
But y'all don't want that smoke either.
That was TJ. That was not because I'm reminded of the epic show from the 80s and early 90s called The Golden Girls, where Blanche is where the president is coming and he's going to shake their hands at the door, and Dorothy's got a list of things that she's going to go off on the president about, and Blanche goes, Dorothy, never argue with a man who can answer the question, you in what army?
Facts.
Item 47 was directed, got that, by Marvel Studios co-president Louis D'Esposito, written by Eric Pearson, and composed by Christopher Leonards. The short film, which was filmed over 4 days, has a runtime of 12 minutes, longer than the previous films, which are no longer than 4 minutes.
Right.
Pearson and D'Esposito had the idea for the short after watching The Avengers and thinking, New York is a mess. There must be weapons everywhere. And I'll say this is just a minor spoiler, folks. If you're going along and you've not seen any of this, minor spoiler for Spider-Man Homecoming, there are more than 47 pieces of technology found.
Way more.
An early idea Pearson and executive producer Brad Winderbaum had for the third Marvel one-shot involved the funeral of Phil Coulson after his death in The Avengers. But they opted in the end to not rely on Coulson yet again after having the 2 previous one-shots focused on him, which is the consultant and a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Item 47 was released on the Avengers Blu-ray on September the 25th, 2012. And this next item is just for you, TJ. I want you to bask in its glory. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Disney CEO Bob Iger greenlit a television series based on S.H.I.E.L.D. at ABC after watching Item 47. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was officially picked up in May 2013. Welliver, having been introduced in the one-shot, reprises his role in the series as a guest star.
Nice. See, you know what? That was just for me. Thank you, Joey.
You are welcome. So now we get to the main event. And I'll say this just going before we get into it, all right? Thor: The Dark World will never be on my list of favorite MCU films, all right? In fact, if we're going to do phase 2, when we rank our films in phase 2, it's going to be towards the bottom. I'm just not, I can't tell you a lie, all right? However, I did enjoy it more this time watching it. All right. And I need to get this out of the way. We're recording this on a Friday, folks. If I said to you, TJ, you and I will get a lot of money by next Friday because we're going to have to film a scene where you carry me about 20 yards and then I carry you about 20 yards and we're going to get a lot of money for it. Okay.
Okay.
We've got a week to prepare for this. I'm like, all right, Joey, think light when TJ's carrying you and think strong when you're carrying TJ. We could get it done. I have no problem at all. We would do it. All right. That being said, poor Chris Hemsworth is carrying somebody about 80% of the movie when something's going on. If he's being shot at or they're running, he's carrying Natalie Portman, he's carrying this person, he's carrying that person. I'd be like, look, y'all gotta do something. Come up with something. I'm tired of carrying people. If I'm the character of Thor, I'm like, somebody, y'all got levitate, do something like hold on to Mew Mew and I'll throw you there.
It's Thor's movie and Thor needs to carry it.
And obviously, maybe that's why I didn't like that first 2 times. Poor Thor carrying everything. Now, I know if I'm not worthy, I can't pick up Mjolnir. All right. But can I hold on to it as it's being thrown?
Oh yeah. I mean, spoilers, we saw that in a mighty battle with one web thrower holding on tight as Mew Mew had been thrown. So we'll discuss that a little bit later. But no, looking at this, you know, I know I'm not worthy. I'll just put that out there. I looked at it. I didn't even try and pick it up.
If you walk by it and you're like, let me move this out of the way, and you're not even thinking about if he was worthy, all right? And let's just say you didn't think about it, and for some reason you were worthy, and you just moved it over to like clean the table, right? That spot. Your Thor's face, it would be like spoilers, folks, on Age of Ultron when it moves just a little when Captain. What? Wait, what? Huh?
Yeah. If I actually did move it, nobody would know how to act because I wouldn't be. And I guess at that moment, I would then have to drop it because I would be excited that I picked it up, but then that makes me narcissistic a little bit, all about me, and then I'm no longer worthy. So then it would fall out of my hand. Hopefully, not on my foot.
All right, listen up. I'm gonna try to YouTube. You can help me here. Kevin Feige. MCU Marvel. I'm using all the keywords so that somebody. Feige, listen to me. I know they're making Thor 5. All right. This man right over here had to get my TJ. All right. TJ is an actor. TJ needs to be in Thor 5. Can you play a character, TJ, that doesn't look anything like you?
Oh, absolutely. They can put all the makeup on me.
A CGI character. Doesn't have to be CGI. You can voice him, right?
Absolutely.
Beta Ray Bill. This is your Beta Ray Bill right there. Do you know Beta Ray Bill?
Absolutely, I do, Joey. I have no problem playing Beta Ray Bill.
That's your Beta Ray right there.
I'll do it. Beta Ray for the win.
Because he wielded Mjolnir for a while.
That would be an excuse for me to throw that thing. And then I will be able to, after the movie came out and I could actually talk about it, I'll be able to, I handled Mew Mew.
Then he gets his own version called Stormbreaker. So you could be walking there around your who's at the front door? Let me get Stormbreaker.
Yeah, that's it. Let's talk about this movie, Joey.
Thor: The Dark World is a 2013 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Thor, produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is the sequel to Thor and the 8th film in the MCU. The film was directed by Alan Taylor from a screenplay by Christopher Yost and the writing team of Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. It stars Chris Hemsworth alongside Natalie Portman, Tom Hiddleston, Stellan Skarsgård, Idris Elba, Christopher Eccleston, Adewale Akinanye Agbaje, Kat Dennings, Ray Stevenson, Zachary Levi, Tadanobu Asano, Jamie Alexander, Rene Russo, and Anthony Hopkins.
And no one noticed Ben Stiller anywhere in the film? He was not in this one?
Development of a sequel to Thor began in April 2011 when producer Kevin Feige announced plans for it to follow the MCU crossover film The Avengers. In July, Thor director Kenneth Branagh withdrew from the sequel. Taylor was hired to replace him as director in January 2012. Thor: The Dark World premiered at the Odeon Leicester Square in London on October the 22nd, 2013, and was released in the United States on November 8th as part of Phase 2 of the MCU. The film was a commercial success, grossing over $644 million worldwide and becoming the 10th highest grossing film of 2013. It received praise for the performances of Hemsworth and Hiddleston, visual effects, and action sequences, but was criticized for its generic villain and lack of depth. Retrospectively, Taylor expressed dissatisfaction with the film and said Marvel subsequently altered it from his original vision during post-production. 2 sequels have been released: Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. Eons ago, Bor, the father of Odin, wages war against the dark elf Malekith, who seeks to unleash a weapon known as the Ether on the 9 realms. After defeating Malekith's forces on their homeworld of Svartalfheim, Bor sends the Ether to a hidden world that no one can reach. However, Malekith escapes with his lieutenant Algrim and a handful of dark elves before going into suspended animation. In present-day Asgard, Odin imprisons Loki for his various crimes on Earth. Meanwhile, Thor and his companions repel marauders on Vanaheim to pacify the 9 realms following the reconstruction of the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge between realms, which was destroyed 2 years earlier. The Asgardians learn that the convergence, a rare alignment of the 9 realms, is imminent. As the event approaches, portals linking the worlds appear at random. In London, astrophysicist Dr. Jane Foster travels to an abandoned factory where such portals have appeared. Foster is teleported to the hidden world where the ether is stored, and it enters her body. Thor finds Foster and takes her to Asgard, where Odin warns that the ether will not only kill her, but herald a catastrophic prophecy. Now, let me say this.
Let's talk about it.
Odin is the man, all right, in his world, all right. He's the man. However, the amount of disrespect he shows Jane Foster, she's like, look, I didn't ask to come, is what I didn't ask to come here.
Right.
They've got healers in her world. They're called doctors. Well, I'm not in my own world, am I?
Because your son brought me here.
Your son brought me here.
Yeah. He was extremely disrespectful.
And your other son caused a bunch of crap on my world, not once, but twice. Looks like you need to lock down your little thing before you talk about what you're bringing her here for.
And since we own the topic, Odin, the one-eyed bastard, what about
you go too far, TJ. I felt like she was, but she's like one-eyed, man. Thor's behind her like too much.
I was gonna say, what about your other kid? But we're not supposed to know about that.
Oh, see, she doesn't know about that either. Otherwise, she's like, and another thing.
And another thing. You're just a bad parent.
But then, see, Odin was like, I was just about to heal you. And that's when Jane was like, you didn't let me finish.
You didn't let me finish. You one-eyed bastard.
Malekith, awakened by the ether's release, attacks Asgard searching for Foster. Thor's mother is killed trying to protect her.
Let's talk about that one, bro. Let's talk about that one. Because the son was involved in that one.
Right.
You know, and that's tough. You might want to go up the stairs to the left. Continue.
Thor recruits Loki, who knows of a secret portal to Svartalfheim, where they plan to confront Malekith to avenge Frigga. In Svartalfheim, Loki uses an illusion to trick Malekith into drawing the ether out of Foster, but Thor's attempt to destroy it fails. Malekith emerges with the ether and leaves as Loki seemingly dies while killing Algrim. See, the word there, as always with Loki, is seemingly.
Seemingly. And at this moment, I, as a viewer, am like, oh, man. You know, he just tried to get some act right in him, and then he dies, and it was a quick death too. Like he pruned up like a spider that was getting the legs all curly. He pruned up real fast.
Mm-hmm. So let me say this though. All right, I don't remember the name. Maybe you remember the name. When Thor, when it all starts to go down, Jane is starts to have lunch with this one guy. All right, I can't remember
Yes,
his name.
Dennis.
Dennis. So Dennis, out of the blue, we're gonna call him Dennis. Out of
Right.
the blue, calls Jane, and somehow it gets through. He got enough bars and all that. She doesn't say, "Oh," she says, "Thank you for calling. I can't believe it got through," and then kind of blows him off. And I'm like, "My man Dennis, I understand if it ain't going to work out between us. I've had those moments. If it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. Could you throw me a nice fruit basket my way for saving the world yet again?"
I would hope that Dennis, for the sake of the argument, I would hope that Dennis did get a fruit basket, because if he had not called at that moment, then Jane would not have known to walk and just happened to find the keys to the broken down vehicle that she was getting ready to walk beside. So yes, Dennis gets my unsung hero of the movie award. Way to go, Dennis. You're a great actor.
Now, this is one of my favorite parts on there. They all reconnect and they reconnect with Dr. Selvig, and then Darcy and what's her little man's name?
Kyle.
Sebastian.
It'd be funny if his name was Sebastian.
They're like Jane, Dr. Selvig, Darcy, and Monier just go flying by. And Darcy says, "Mew mew."
Yep.
And then later on, Dr. Selvig, he can't think with pants on. So he's walking around with no pants. And they're like, they said it helps him think. And he goes, "Your brother's not here with you, is he?" "My brother is dead." "Oh, thank God. I am so sorry for your loss." This guy's like, "Listen, I've been carrying people left and right. My mama is dead. I believe my brother is dead. My dad just acted like a total jerk to my girl over here after I brought it on here. And now it's up to me to pull everybody's fat out of the fire. Could you not put down my dead brother and say, thank God, like right in front of me? Could you at least go around the corner? Talk loud where I can still hear you, of course, but not to my face."
If you go disrespect my dead brother, put some pants on. That's the one time when I'm going to put some pants on. You're not going to disrespect my dead brother and not have pants on too.
Slide some shorts on at least. It could be those, you remember jerseys with a Z?
Yeah.
Some of them didn't even have pockets. Just slide a pair of those on. You ain't got to keep them on all day. Just
I don't even care if the pants you put on has cutie across the ass. Just have something on if you're going to disrespect my dead brother.
A pair of sweatpants, a pair of those track pantsuits, you know?
Some tearaway pants.
Tearaways.
You can tear them away after I'm gone.
They learn that Malekith plans to plunge the entire universe into darkness by unleashing the ether at the center of the convergence in Greenwich. Now that'll do it. I mean, you a head start on doing it if you're going to do that.
Big fact.
Thor battles Malekith across multiple worlds while Jane's group use their scientific equipment to transport Malekith to Vartalfheim, where he is crushed by his own ship. Thor returns to Asgard, where he declines Odin's offers to take the throne. After he leaves, Loki is revealed to be alive and impersonating Odin. In a mid-credit scene, Volstagg and Sif visit the Collector and entrust the ether to his care. While with the Tesseract already in Asgard, they fear that having two Infinity Stones so close together would be dangerous. As they leave, the Collector states his desire to acquire the other 5 stones. In a post-credit scene, Foster and Thor reunite on Earth.
I like the Collector.
A little behind-the-scenes action. for this post-credit scene, they were not able to be all in the same place. So that's actually Chris Hemsworth's wife that he kisses.
Nice.
Thor: The Dark World earned $206.4 million in North America and $438.4 million in other markets for a worldwide total of $644.8 million. It surpassed the gross of its predecessor after just 19 days of its release. Deadline Hollywood calculated the film's net profit as $139.4 million when factoring together all expenses and revenues for the film.
Hmm.
The review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reported an approval rating of 67% with an average score of 6.2 out of 10 based on 290 reviews. Metacritic, which uses the weighted average, assigned a score of 54 out of 100 based on 44 reviews, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an A- average based on a grading scale ranging from A+ to F. Now, TJ, what would you give it? I don't know if you want to use a 5-star scale, a 1 to 10 scale, whatever you want to give it a rating.
I will sell this really quickly. The funniest thing I ever heard, the funniest rating I ever heard on somebody on a scale of 1 to 5 got a poo emoji. I'm like, that was the funniest rating ever. You know, on a scale of 1 to 5, you get a poo emoji. That's hilarious. But no, I don't rate it. I'm not gonna give it an F grade because it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just not what I've come to love about the MCU. Does it give us some stuff? Yeah, but it also gave us some stuff that we had to pivot from because the ether is not a sludge. It is, in fact, a reality stone. So, you know, if I have to grade it on a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give it a C-. I don't think that. Oh wait, that did math, did it? On a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give it a C-.
I was going along with you. All right, let's go. Because I was trying to think of my letter grade too, but let's do 1 to 5. 1 being this is a piece of crap. 5 being this is a cinema masterpiece.
A 2.76.
Okay.
Yeah. Not quite a 3. Because again, there are some highlights. I love Mew Mew. So you get some Kat Dennings in there. We get some more Darcy Lewis, essentially. Anytime you get Natalie Portman on screen, that's great. You know, I would try and take her to Asgard as well. Selvig put on some pants. Again, there are highlights. But the Dark Elves aren't the most interesting of antagonists. You know, they did give us an opportunity to get a little bit more from Idris Elba's character. So it's fun to ask, you know, how everybody feels about Stringer Bell protecting the Bifrost. But no, I mean, outside of that, yeah, 2.75, 82276. So close to a 3. But, you know, the math just doesn't math for it to be a 3. No disrespect.
In my day job, I, during the school year, have to have a weekly meeting with my student staff. And during that weekly meeting, we go around and state how our last week has gone on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
10 being it's the greatest. It can't get any better than this. 1 being you're glad I'm here. You know, that you just be better glad I'm here. Every week when we go around, there's always someone, oh, I'm a 7.765. And I'm trying to add it up so I can give us a thing. So you hit my heart with that one.
Yeah. The universe makes no mistakes.
All right, this is what I'm going to. This is how I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to give it a 1 for being an MCU film that at least gets us a little further along on the Infinity Stone saga.
Okay.
I'll give it another 1, which brings it up to 2 because it had some good moments, and I was more entertained this time. And I will give it half of a star for I forgot that there was some good dialogue in this. Mew Mew and is your brother with you and all of that. And then I'll give it a quarter of a thing for our character of what's his name, the other guy, and his cell phone signal. I figure he's worth a quarter of a point for that cell phone signal scene. Dennis. So that is a 2.75. So it's over halfway for me. So
if you add our scores up, it does equal out to around a 5, but also adding our scores up mean that it would have to become out of 10, which doesn't help it at all.
right. So or then you got to divide it by 2. So we're right back probably.
Right back where we were.
Let's say 2.6 because Joey doesn't feel like doing all that math right now.
Awesome.
That's not bad. I don't think that's bad at all. It's over halfway.
Yeah. I mean, now sadly, if you go and you look at it, you'll probably see that this is one of my lower rated Marvel films.
Right, right.
You know, but at least we're getting it out of the way and having the opportunity to laugh about it.
Now, I think we can do from here, like just ride along with me for a minute, TJ. There's no watermelon in the car. All right. No watermelon in the car. All right.
I'm here.
And this is totally spoiler free. This is a great year left for Marvel. All right. This is spoiler free, folks. You got in theaters now Thunderbolts. If you've not seen it, you need to go see it.
Thunder.
You just had on Disney Plus Daredevil Born Again, which is getting a season 2, which is bringing back Jessica Jones.
Oh,
wow. In June, you got Ironheart on Disney Plus. Plus, see what I did there? At the end of May, I think it's the 28th, you would have to look. Captain America Brave New World drops on
Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus. Then in July, you've got Fantastic Four First Steps is dropping in theaters, and there's something else coming to Disney Plus, but I can't think of it right now.
The Wakanda Chronicles.
Is that it? I don't.
No, that is an animated series that's coming, but it's not coming next. I think that's slated for 28.
Yeah. MC.
I don't even know if it's called the Wakanda Chronicles, but if it's not, cut the check.
I hear you. Hey, there's nothing wrong with cutting What are you most looking forward to, or where are you at in your MCU journey?
So I'm excited. Honestly, weirdly enough, I'm excited for Brave New World because I haven't seen it yet. So with it releasing on the 28th, that's going to be great. I know you and I talked about me seeing Thunderbolts, but I told you the week started off crappy, so you would understand why I hadn't had the opportunity to see Thunderbolts yet. But it was the number 1 film for 2 weeks in a row, so there's got to be some there. But what am I most excited about? Realistically, no disrespect to Ironheart because I know they've been putting that on the back burner for a couple years now, so I'm really excited for Riri Williams to get her shine, and then honestly, the much awaited debut of Mephisto in the MCU. But I am most excited about July because Fantastic Four First Steps looks to be a great picture. It's set in an alternate universe. We're finally going to get the introduction to Robert Downey Jr.'s variation of Victor Von Doom, so that hopefully some of that gets explained. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Not to mention, I get to watch it with you at the arena. Look, I'm looking forward to more of that popcorn that we thought was so questionable last time.
So, Phase 6 will also include the animated miniseries Eyes of Wakanda.
Oh, it's not called Wakanda Chronicles.
and Marvel Zombies, animated Marvel Zombies. Plus, Wonder Man is coming before the end of the year. And the second season of Born Again will happen in 2026, as well as Vision Quest will happen in 2026.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about White Vision. That sounds problematic. I wonder how long we're going to call him that.
I feel like he's such a gentleman, both the character and the actor, Paul Bethany. He's like, just Vision. Just Vision is fine.
Because as I'm telling you, we just me and my partner just watched Hulk, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So if you've watched that or if you've rewatched it in preparation to watch Brave New World, they called him Black Falcon. And that is one scene that I liked in the show. He was like, "Why do I just call you Black Kid?" And he's laughing. But yeah, White Vision. Like, this is what we got from WandaVision was White Vision. So I'm like, how long are we going to call him White Vision before somebody says, Just asking. Just asking.
One of my favorite comics arcs is when John Walker originally takes over the persona of Captain America. And he brings on Lamar, and they call him, he's the new Bucky. And he's like, hey, we're going to have to come up with some other name. I can't do it. But... And he goes, noted. He says, we will write that down. I forget what they call him for that. But that's what I'm excited about this, as well as, and we're going to dip a toe into the other side of the aisle because I have no problems with them either. The new Superman looks really good. Really, really good.
Well, see, you asked specifically about Marvel projects.
I absolutely did.
So I can't throw any shade at all at DC. James Gunn, with this being his first full project as head honcho over there in DC, this is looking promising. No disrespect to Blue Beetle, I never wanted to watch it in the first place, but this Superman does look pretty good.
I feel like the way you said that, the actor was like right beside you, and he's like, I'm right here. I never wanted to watch that in the first place.
Right. Because it's an inside joke to me and him, because nobody knows he's in the room except for me.
The trailer for season 2 of Peacemaker also dropped, and that looks really good. There's a hilarious part at the beginning. He's like, am I supposed to be able to hear you? That's all I'm gonna say.
Joey, we got to come to terms on something, man. I think you're responsible for this one. Make me like John Cena as an actor.
Have you seen season 1 of Peacemaker?
I saw 5 minutes of episode. I saw to the dance sequence of episode 1.
And that didn't make you love John Cena as an actor?
I watched the Suicide Squad, and I will say he had some really funny one-liners in there that fit with the overall group. I couldn't imagine myself sitting and watching an entire movie of if freedom is a dick, I would suck all the dicks. I can't see myself watching that for a 45-minute 10-season arc.
I've got it for you. All right. James Gunn did 3 volumes of Guardians of the Galaxy plus the holiday special. Mm-hmm. And he said that John Cena is the most giving actor he has ever seen, that he puts his all into the film and doesn't ask anything in return. He's like, if you want me to be the fool in this scene, I'll be the fool. If you want me to be serious, just tell me what to be, and I will be there. And so hustle, loyalty, and respect. That's all I've got to say. Go into it. I feel like a lot of times, and not necessarily with you, a lot of times people get the blowback from Cena being in wrestling and doing like the original, like the spinning title and the rap career, and there's a lot of blowback there. And just go in. That's all I'll say. Go in with an open mind, and I'll give it 2 episodes. If you don't like season 1 after 2 episodes, say, hey, I tried it. I gave it 2 episodes. No harm, no foul. But if you've seen Creature Commandos, it picks up kind of from there, because Rick Flag Sr. is also in season 2, and he leads the group now, and it's the same actor who voices him.
Frank
Grillo.
I know a little something.
I didn't say that you didn't.
No. I'm. This is for the person who's sitting at home right now saying, TJ don't know nothing. I know something.
You know what? I'll punch that person in the face. Punch him
in the throat.
In the throat, Carl. In the throat. With a K. Carl with a K. Not even a C, Carl.
And who had the audacity to give you Carl with a K as a first name when your last name starts with a K too? Carl.
Carl Carlson, both with K's.
Jerk.
I don't know, TJ. They might be heading into white vision too.
I'm sorry, Carl.
Carl, just Carl would be fine. Just for Carl. Vision and Blue Beetle are both right beside him. Can you believe this jerk? That's what we call a callback, folks.
For the incident that someone's name is actually Carl Carlson, we're not talking to you specifically, but thanks for being a viewer of the show. Go ahead and click subscribe and share us with your grandma.
All right. Well, since you started that, let's finish it. TJ, are you familiar with what we're watching next?
I have a handful of things
okay.
that we've talked about.
Yep.
One of which is a show that hasn't even started production yet. So let them know what's coming next, Joey.
We're going to watch season or series 1 of Sherlock. We're going to later on, we're continuing our MCU watch. I believe the next one is Iron Man 3. And we're going to get into whether you consider that a Christmas film or not. So we'll get back into our Christmas watch. And then in July, we're going back and doing another action series. This time it is Lethal Weapon. So that is that. If you like this show, go ahead and subscribe, like my friend over there said. Hit the notification bell after you subscribe. It'll let you know every time we drop an episode. And the summer's coming. You don't have anything to do, folks. Just sit back, put us on the big screen. I know you all got YouTube on your TVs. Put us on the big screen. Just play us in the background. We'll entertain you with our shenanigans.
We have enough episodes to get you through your family's trip to the Grand Canyon. You don't want to sit and listen to the kids say, Danny's touching me. Carl's chewing with his mouth open. You bastard, Carl. So I'm saying, just put on some what we're watching now, and we'll get you there safely. Grand Canyon.
Yeah. If you would like to email us, I'll give you my email, joeyharriscomedy@gmail.com. I am, if it's a social media, at the Joey Harris. If you want to drop us a couple of coins, you're like, listen, I got $1 here that's burning a hole in my pocket. At the Joey Harris on Cash App and Venmo, joeyharriscomedy@gmail.com on PayPal. You send us $1, I'll send TJ 50 cents.
And once I get that 50 cents, I'm going to put it inside of this. It's a jar that I bought about 2 years ago that used to hold pork rinds. But now that's where I put my loose change. F you, Carl.
Patreon.com/BabyKangarooMedia. Just $5 a month. You want green rooms? We got green rooms. Joey Harris Super Show, Cup of Joe on Patreon, the book club baristas, not the bathtub baristas.
Not the bathtub baristas.
That's part of the super Patreon. We'll discuss that later. TJ will do things for money, but you got to come up with a dollar figure before you approach him.
Big time facts.
That's going to be the first thing he asks.
What we talking?
All of that, so much more, just $5 a month. Give us a try, folks. Go on there, patreon.com/BabyKangarooMedia. You can join for free. And I just dropped for free the green room that I did with Nan. That gives you a small sampling of what you can get for free. We've got 2 free members, TJ, which is great. Yeah. So, but if you would like to become a full member, get all the access, I just say, if you give us 1 month, if you don't like us after 1 month, there's no harm, no foul. We will part as friends, and you will have my lifetime dedication and gratitude. But if you, for that first month, this is what I'm giving you. Use the promo code Joey. You get 20% off. So that's just $4 you're parting with. If you don't like us after that first month, like we part as friends, and you have nothing but my lifelong love and gratitude. All of that, so much more, patreon.com/baby kangaroo media. But TJ, go ahead and plug any and everything you have, my friend.
Lastly, on this baby kangaroo media, $4 ain't that much, folks. And I know money is getting tight. I've lost $4 in a couch once, and I went and I looked for it. I also lost a Roku remote. Still can't find that damn remote. But
well,
anyway,
I'm gonna tell you how life is. Life is changing so much. My Roku remote was out of date and then went back in date day before yesterday because it says HBO Max again.
right.
For the longest time, I'm like, I don't have HBO Max. It's just Max. But you push it now, it's HBO Max again.
Because HBO said we want to bring the HBO back. Plugging what I got coming on. We got some stuff coming on TV soon. We've got a song released recently. We've got a play coming up. 200 episodes on the Joey Harris Show, holding it down. We got travel coming, conferences. I got a bald head. Let's go, Joey. Hold on, one second. Carl. Okay, I'm done.
So, folks, that's all we need to say. Thank you so much for joining us. Episode 46, 47 coming up next time. And we in the meantime, have a great day, and we will talk to you next time.